What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. So this is going to be another Galactus video here. So we're going to have Negasonic Teenage Warhead against Galactus today. So we're going to see how she can do. I've been having a lot of fun playing Negasonic, so that's kind of why I decided to get her into the fight against Galactus here, and also because I got her to level 70, so that means, you know, it's time for a GBR fight or a GBR showcase. How can she do against Galactus? So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at her build here before we hop into that. So for her gears here, we have the third gear at 22, we have the last gear at 25. Again, that's just for that extra ignore defense there, because you get that bonus at 22 and then another big bonus at 25 to kind of help out if you need any of these stats to fill in there. So like skill cooldown or ignore defense are the two main ones, and that's kind of why I leveled this up a little bit for some skill cooldown, but you don't really get very much from leveling up these skills just for like the orange values there, so I wouldn't really recommend it. I'm just always capped out on Phoenix feathers, so every once in a while I just roll gears on some of the X-Men. So let's go ahead and hop down here. So for her skills, we have, I leveled up everything for her skills. I don't remember if she needed everything leveled up. So we have just some flat all defense down here that doesn't apply to world bosses. For this one, we have guaranteed crit, or not guaranteed, but crit rate increase by 30%. For this one, we have the 8 guard hits, and then the accumulate, was it 2 damage dealt? Yeah, it's damage dealt, so how much damage he's dealing. And then for the fourth skill, we have leveled up for the all defense down. And then the fifth skill, also the all defense down, but also we get an all attack and crit rate boost. 65% for crit rates. Yeah, she's definitely way over cap for crit rate. She has 2 crit rate boosts here. I do use all of her skills, so I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, but you don't always use the second skill, but I do use that quite a bit. Just to fill in the rotation, I just kind of spam all of her skills for the most part. And just alternate my damage proc on 5 and 4 depending on where the rotation happens to be. For the ISO 8 set here, we have Power of Angry Hulk. It is a stage 6. We have one of them in there with 1 red star, but besides that, they're all just 6-star ISO 8s. And then I do have a CTP of energy on her. I forgot to put that on her. Maybe that's why I've been enjoying playing her quite a bit, because she does have a lot of chain hits to take advantage of from the 4th and the 5th skill. But yeah, I do have a CTP of energy on her. And let's go ahead and take a look at the details here while that plane flies over my house. Hello, plane. All right, so we have max attack speed, which is really good. Our crit rate is going to be maxed either way because her skills gives her 65%. So doesn't really matter that I have 71% there. Her crit damage is also maxed. I didn't remember maxing out on her, but that's quite nice. Our ignore defense is almost there, 45%, so I could work on that a little bit. And then we do have max skill cooldown, so she's looking pretty good for the stats here. She's actually yeah, pretty up there in terms of her stats, so she does quite well. We've got extra energy there, we got movement speed, and we've got some attack speed, so that's probably why we got that extra little bit of attack speed there. So that's what Negasonic is looking like, so let's go ahead and hop into the fight against Galactus and see how she did. Alright, so here we are loading into the fight. We have a tier 3 Jean Grey and a tier 3 Jean Grey as well, with the Cyclops for the bottom team there. So you would think that we do quite well here, but we actually end up timing out, so I will let you know that right at the start of the video here. But since we get to go the entire 10 minutes, we get to see what kind of damage Negasonic here can do over the, you know, for the full period, so I don't have to kind of guess on how much damage she did overall. And the team that we ended up using for Negasonic here was Kitty Leadership, and then we have Valkyrie for her tier 2 passive, and then also my Valkyrie does have a CTP of Insight on her, so we do have that extra 20% damage there that's going to be activating kind of out of sync here, as you can see from the little icons up there from the custom gears. But for Negasonic here, she's a little awkward to play, of course, for the kind of damage procs, because as you can see, both her 5 and 4 have a 8-second cooldown, so can't really combine the 2 skills, but luckily both the skills do pretty good damage on their own, so you don't really need to cancel into the other one, because usually what I like to try to do if the damage proc doesn't end up going off too early is I use the 4th skill. We start getting all those punches And then when she does that last punch of the 4th skill, it kind of lingers there for a little while to do that damage, and then I try to hop right into the 5th skill and have the damage proc go right at that kind of junction right there. So the kind of residual hits from the 4th skill trigger right when I'm popping the 5th skill, and then you get some really, really nice damage from that combination. But at the same time, both her 5 and 4 are her all defense down skills, which is usually why you can see a huge spike in damage when you combine the 2 skills, because then you can stack up to her max all defense down, which, what was it, it's like 65% or something like that. I cannot remember off the top of my head, so definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like 65% or something like that. So she had a pretty good stack there for the all defense down, which is what makes her a very, very good character for World Boss Ultimate. She does really well in World Boss Ultimate. Of course, since she has that all defense down, you can take advantage of the all defense down strikers to stack on top of that. And when I say stack on top of that, it doesn't keep stacking in terms of how much reduction you can get on the boss, if that makes sense. So her 65% all defense down isn't going to keep stacking with someone else. So if like Scarlet Witch or Weapon Hex comes in and strikes at 65%, isn't going to stack on top of theirs. So I'm not going to get Weapon Hex's 100% all defense down and Negasonic's 65%, so it's not going to be 165%. But they will add to that to help the hit counter. So building up to that minus 65% will be helped from my all defense down strikers to contribute to getting to the maximum of minus 65%. That was kind of a longer explanation than I needed to do. Maybe I'll make a separate video on strikers and all defense down. So yeah, let me know if you're curious about that, or if you want a little more information for all defense down and how it works in general. So yeah, just let me know. But for right now, we're going to be continuing on here with Negasonic, and we're doing okay at the start here. We're not really on pace. Well, we're pretty close to being on pace for clearing. We want to get down to about 40 bars. Yeah, like 40 bars in 5 minutes. That would show that we're on pace, but we have a minute and a half to do 10 bars. And I do remember timing out on this one, because I did just kind of skip through the clip just to see what the damage was at the end, so I had a good idea of what to say. But yeah, here we go. Negasonic is just putting in work here, and also her 3rd skill has that accumulation on it, so you do want to pop that whenever you can, which that is something that I always forget. So I can't remember if I'm using the 3rd skill consistently in this. Yeah, like see, I didn't use the 3rd skill right there before going into the 4 and the 5 for the damage. So you want to use, and then I popped the 3rd skill right here, where I'm just going to be what was I? Oh, I was just looking to see who was dead. Where I'm just sitting back and wasting all of that time from the 3rd skill. But yeah, because you have that accumulation on there, which can help out her damage. So I have not been using that a lot during this fight here. So we could be getting a little bit more damage out of Negasonic. So you can keep that in mind towards the end here. If you were playing her properly, you'd be getting a bigger damage stack. But I always forget that that 3rd skill has that accumulation. So yeah. But yeah, Negasonic, she's a really fun character to play, and also has great survivability. She's got that, she's got super armor, she's got damage immunity on the 5th skill, she's got delayed iframe on the 4th skill, but she's also got that really, really massive heal on her 5th skill. It's almost like a full heal, which is really nice. It heals her up like 60% of her max HP or something like that. Something crazy, even though it says something like 15%, but it procs like 2 or 3 times, so you end up seeing a lot bigger heal than what the actual skill says itself, which is kind of weird. I'm not really sure why it procs multiple times, but it says only like 1 second on the skill duration, so it should only be a one-time proc. Either way, I'm happy that it procs more often, because then she has a lot more survivability. But yeah, here we go. Another 4 minutes to do 33 bars. Like I said, we don't quite clear it, but I think we get close if I remember correctly. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Negasonic here, doing Negasonic things. So how do you guys like Negasonic? Do you think she's a lot better than Rachel? Because I definitely do. I like her a lot more than Rachel. I think she's definitely more worth the crystal cost. But let me know if you guys picked her up, if you invested in her, if you were happy with her, or if you would have preferred to just kind of skip her and slowly unlock her through Danger Room rewards, which will probably take you like a year or two because you hardly get any bios for the characters. But yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna skip ahead here because I have nothing to say. There we go. Save you guys a minute or two of me not knowing what to say. So here we are at the end of the fight. So we're wrapping it up, and we did get close. We only have 5 bars left. Oh, maybe 4 bars? 4 bars left. Do I hear 4.5 or 3.5? Yes, I do hear 3.5. 3.5 bars. So we got super, super close there. And then the final tally was 23 million, about 24 million, which is exactly a third of his health. So we did a third of the damage pretty much on the nose there. Like I said, I was forgetting to use a third skill a lot, so we could have got a little bit more damage. So definitely not the best showing for her, but it gives a good idea that yes, she can do a third of the damage, but it is going to be very, very close. So want to keep that in mind, that you want to build her about the same or better than mine if you want to use her for Galactus. So yeah, overall happy with the Negasonic because she performs very well in War Boss Ultimate and Shadowland, and she does well enough here in GBR. She does really good against Master Mold, but Galactus here again is a different story because Master Mold is just so much easier, it seems, to fight. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.